My name is Joe Maloney, and I'm applying for the TLD Fellowship. And the first thing I want to talk about is the vision that I have for myself as a future leader. And to start talking about that, I wanted to talk about a recent values-based audit that I underwent. We did this as a Chicago TLD team. And basically what we had to do was take 100 values and winnow them down to the 3 that we cared most about or that mattered the most to us. And in the end, the values that I landed on were focus, reliability, and goodness. And I think when I envision myself as a future leader, all 3 of these values are present in every aspect of that vision. And the way that I see that playing out in action is I want to be a strong coach. I want to develop others, really have a strong and rigid plan for each of the people that I coach and develop throughout the process to see that through. And an important aspect to that, for me at least, is the ability to accentuate the strengths of others. I play basketball a lot, and the position I play is point guard, and my job there is to let others shine and score the ball and to set plays and run the offense to make sure that that happens. And when I think about my work in the long run and myself as a future leader, I want to be doing that way more and in a way that's really meaningful. And I also want to be a leader that sees the best in their people, that sees a vision for each of the people that they lead, not just now, not just 3 months from now, but a year down the road, 5 years down the road. And this is a skill that I'm starting to develop now with core members, and that I worked on with my students down in St. Louis. But I feel like through collaboration and through experiential learning in the fellowship, I could gain a greater insight into the ability to do this for people that we lead, and for ourselves too. I'm constantly refining my own personal theory of change, and I think that the fellowship would be a great opportunity to get feedback and bring in other voices on that process. The final aspect of myself as a future leader is I want to be perceived as a backbone. I'm not a flashy leader. I'm not an orator, but I feel like I do the things behind the scenes when it comes to reliability and focus that aren't necessarily seen, but are just as important in making sure that the ship sails and is efficient and run well. So I think like that goes hand in hand with my point earlier about wanting to accentuate the strengths in others and really let others shine and be the best possible versions of themselves. So that's what I'm just really, really excited about. And when I think about the fellowship, I think about the opportunity for collaboration with a bunch of others in this organization and not in this organization who are coming from a diverse array of backgrounds, who have way different experiences than I do, that can provide me feedback, that can work with me on my own journey as I think through some of these, what it will take actually to get to that vision I have for my future self as a leader. I also think about coaching support. Coaching adults is really hard. I have experience in coaching kids now in the classroom and coaching basketball, and now some with core members, but coaching adults is an entirely different ballgame, and the support and years of experience that others have there is invaluable to me and something that I'm just really yearning for in this work, especially moving forward. And ultimately, I'm willing to try anything. I'm willing to test my ideas out, willing to work with others, and I think that the fellowship would be a great opportunity for that for that space to happen. So specifically, why the fellowship for me? I want to learn from others. I've been trying to build relationships and networks within this organization for a long time, specifically in the high school English community, and the relationships there that I've built are fantastic and wonderful. But I'm trying to gain an array of experiences and voices in my work that I can learn from and share my own work to receive feedback on that journey. I also just think that's really exciting that there's an emphasis on TAL with the fellowship. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot, and especially as we move to TAL 2.0, I think that it would just be just a tremendous support network as we think about the implications that has on our work as coaches and leaders in this organization who are trying to create transformational classrooms for kids. And something I mentioned before, but experiential learning is really important for me. And I think the opportunity to have a mentor, to have others who are working towards similar goals, who are sort of see themselves in this moving forward, I think that would just be a huge benefit and something that I would really enjoy. And finally, for me, feedback is paramount. I love feedback in any form, and I view this as another opportunity to receive feedback on my work and to receive feedback on the job that I'm doing, and in my own journey as I try to gain management and coaching experience moving forward. And it's ultimately just like a different lens. I think sometimes we become way too caught up in our regional priorities, at least we do in Chicago, and when there's others who are looking into your work and into your vision and into your journey with that fresh set of eyes, I think that's so important and necessary, frankly, in the work that we're doing here. Moving forward and talking about why program manager, and I think this goes back to my love of vision and the ability to set vision for an even larger group of teachers and students and parents and community members in Chicago. Just thinking about it makes me excited, and this is something that I'm really passionate about, and to be able to do this for an entire team and coach and develop others is an opportunity that I would absolutely relish in this role in Chicago. And I think, especially as it relates to my passions, which are teaching and leadership, I think those two sort of go hand in hand in this role, and the ability to do that would be a great opportunity. And I also think that, for me at least, it fits into my personal theory of change, which is 10 years from now, I would like to be running and managing a political campaign for a candidate who's going to make educational equity their number one issue. So I think if I'm able to do that, or if I'm going to be able to do that in 10 years, then I need strong management, coaching experience where I'm motivating and influencing others and building important relationships and networks such that we can achieve ambitious goals. So that's long-term why I think program manager is a great fit for me, and something that not only that I can be developed into a strong and effective manager, but that fits into sort of my where I see myself in 10 years. And finally, where I'm at right now in that process. So I think that I'm about a year away. I'm finishing up right now my first year in the MTLD role, and I finally feel like after a year that I'm solid and that I know what I'm doing. And I've started to take on more leadership experiences recently. I've taken the lead in Chicago on the Student Surveys Working Project, and this upcoming school year, I'll be leading our humanities team, so a humanities cohort, and setting a vision for that. So as I think about myself a year from now, I think that if I'm able to use my experiences from my first year combined with the new leadership opportunities that I'm operating with, then I can be ready. As I think about my strengths that I bring to this role, I think my RST and being able to analyze and use reason and logic and draw conclusions from that has been strong this year, and it's been one of the parts of my work that I really like. So when it comes to the job of a program manager, being able to look at a bunch of different points of data and analyze them and draw some conclusions, I think that'll be a strength that I'll bring to this role, which goes with my point of being focused earlier. And also I think about Brio. I think about my ability to build relationships with not only my core members, but principals, parents, community members in Chicago. I think those skills lend themselves well to being a strong and an effective manager who's going to hold high expectations, but who's also going to care for you and make sure that my vision for you is actually being fulfilled. And the final strength, I think, is transformational change, which I talked about in my letter of intent, but I just feel really passionate about what we think needs to be true for our ELA classrooms in Chicago. And I feel good about the bar that we've set, and I want to expand that net to a wider range when it comes to secondary literacy in Chicago. And I think that's something that I'm passionate about and something that is a strength. When it comes to areas of growth and places that I think that I can work with in the upcoming year. I think coaching, like I mentioned before, coaching and developing others, especially others who have a different leadership style or who have a different work ethic than I do. That's been a struggle this year and something that I've definitely worked through and continue to prioritize when it comes to my own development. I also think about making decisions and demonstrating judgment. My prioritization sometimes is not aligned to my overall priorities and my vision, and I need to get way better at not only prioritizing on the daily, the monthly, the weekly level, but also making decisions that are actually aligned to my vision and being efficient with my time. That's definitely, when I think about being a program manager, that needs to be there, and I can get way better at that. So those are the areas that I think I need to grow in. But in the end, I think that the fellowship would be a great opportunity for me to learn and to be a learner in this process and just hear a bunch of different voices and work really hard to make sure that I can fulfill this vision I have for myself as a future leader. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.